Welcome everybody back to boostinmotion, guys, and today I have some parts they gave me for the Q60. This is good. I'm so happy. But guys, before I get into the video, if you're part of the boostinmotion family but you never hit the like button, please, if you can, hit the like button. That's something free that I think you guys can do. But also on top of that, because when you guys take a look at those views, look, if I'm trying my best to have the likes match the views. I know this is something that may never happen, but when you guys hit that like button, it suggests my video to other people who don't know about my content. So someone who likes 392s, they might see their 392 get dragged by Q50s, Q60s. So it's kind of good to, get that rivalry. But anyways, guys, let's jump into the video. All right, guys. So now that we're back. So no, I'm not. These are not E-bot springs in here or E-box springs, but there are some springs in there. They just wanted to reuse the box. But anyways, let me get into it. If you guys don't already know, my last Q50 had BC Racing coilovers, right? Now, for anyone who is listening, listen good, okay? Listen to me. I want to help you guys, right? If you have a Red Sport or a 3.0T Sport, okay, with the DDS suspension, this is if you have a 2016 and up Red Sport or 3.0T Sport with DDS suspension, when you go and get coilovers, the coilovers are going to be different with the lower coilover mount that connects to the lower control arm and or fork. So some of you guys have always had, let's say if you wanted to order some coilovers for your 2016 Q50. The coilovers that are for your regular 3.0T are not the same for the Red Sport, okay? I want you guys to know that. So you have to choose between the ones that actually fit. Now, I have BC Racing coilovers, and I'm still planning on going with coilovers with the Q60, right? And the thing is, because the Q50 and the Q60 are interchangeable, I don't have to go and buy a bunch of new coilovers. But in the last couple months, I did a few things on the coilovers I had. I replaced the two front shocks in the coilovers because I had about 40 to 50,000 miles on those coilovers. So the front end is basically new under 5K. But the rears shocks I never replaced, and the ride quality did diminish. But this is 40 to 50,000 miles, guys. It's expected. So what I choose to do was, one, you have to buy these things. These are lower, I would just say lower mounts to the coilovers. You see this little part here is what goes into the fork if you're all-wheel drive, right? And this is a little bit wider, so it can actually fit into the lower fork. If you have a regular 3.0T or 3.7 or 3.5 hybrid or 2.0T without the DDS suspension, well, you won't get that on the older models, or the 3.7, 3.5. You can just use the regular ones. But for this one, you have to use the V. I want to zoom in a little bit. If I could, I may not be able to. The V24. These works for the Q60 and the Q50, okay? All right, this is only really for the all-wheel drive. If you have rear-wheel drive, you shouldn't have the problem. It shouldn't matter whichever one you use. All right, cool. Now, this is the lower mount. This was about $50 from BC Racing coilover. Yes, each. $50 for one. So I had to spend $100 just so I can be able to convert it. Cool. Now, there's a second thing that I wanted to replace was the coilover shock now. Now, the coilover shocks, these are how they look. Depending on the manufacturer you go with, sometimes they don't have the replacement parts that you can buy on the site. Like I know Megan and a few other sites, you can't really just go and buy replacement shocks. It's like really a hassle to do it. But BC Racing coilover makes it super easy for you to order these parts, and they actually converse with you to make sure that you actually choose to purchase the right shock. The majority of the time, the only little difference I can tell you is with these shocks, they usually have different height. So if you have an extreme drop, usually the shock body will be a little shorter than this, so you can get really, really low. But even on the regular OEM shocks that come, well, the regular size limb shocks that come in there, they'll work just fine. And I purchased two of these so I can be able to replace my two rear shocks. All right. Now, well, with the rear M2, you don't have to change out this. That's interchangeable with the rear lower mounts. It's just the front all-wheel drive Q50 Q60s with Red Sports and 3.0Ts with DDS suspension are the ones you have to change those out. Cool. So all in all, that will change it up. And once I replace these two shocks, basically my coilover kit is damn near new. So if I do choose to sell this kit, I'm not selling it for no $400 or $500 because brand new, it's about $1,000. I put mileage on it, but I did replace it. Now moving forward, you guys see E-box, A-box or I-box. Now in here, I actually have replacement, replacing springs. So every spring has a certain amount of spring rate, right? And out the kit, I believe they give you 10 and 8. 10K in the front. You see that number? You see these three numbers? Just break it down. 62 is how wide the inner diameter is of the spring, like this part. Take it out. I'm going to show you guys. Part of my ashy hands. This is 62 millimeters in here, right? Cool. Inner diameter. The second number is 200 is the height in millimeters. So this should be 200 millimeters of height from here to here. Depending on the length of the spring, sometimes you could go with a shorter spring and still have the same different type of ride comfort. So you can have a longer spring that could be 300 millimeter, and usually they give you a better ride rather than the shorter springs where there's not much flex and compression, even though they'll have the same inner millimeter and inner diameter. Also, this last number is 6. 6 means 6K. 6K springs. There's a certain amount of weight it takes to move the spring an inch. One of you guys are gonna comment below because you know a little better than me, but there's a certain amount of weight to move this spring just 1 inch to compress, and that's how they determine it that it's 6K. So you can have a spring that's 300 in length and 6K, and it'll actually ride a little softer than a spring that's actually 100K in length, and it'll be 6K. Literally, yeah. So I'm replacing these rear springs too, because when I first got the coilover kit, I did 24 in the front and 20 in the rear. 20K in the rear is way too stiff. It's completely terrible. You never do that on these type of cars. So then I went down to 12K, and then I went down to 10 and then 8. And 8 was pretty good, but in the last, I would say 2 years, it just been, I guess, with the shock that started wearing out. That's why I'm replacing the shocks. But also on top of that, I want a softer spring for the rear. I feel like it really unsettles the rear when it's just too soft. Even though you can adjust the dampering, it just takes away from the ride comfort and the controllability in the rear end. Because yes, the rear end is stiff, but again, if you ever hit a bump or imperfection, it throws off the whole balance of the car, especially with the rear sway bar. So I'm gonna go back to 6K in the rear, so I can have softer launches and just have more ride comfort in the rear. And now that the car I still have 24K in the front on the car, and I have, I think, 8K in the rear. So I'm gonna take out my older springs. I think I have 10 or 12K. I'm gonna put that in the front. The 12Ks in the front. I'm gonna take out the 24 so I can just change up the whole ride comfort completely and just have a different car and a different feel. All right. But anyways, let me close the video out. Alright guys, so yeah, that's it. It's coming together. Boost is definitely gonna coilovers. I haven't decided fully yet if I'm gonna put the coilovers on this car. I mean, at the end of the day, I know I can do it and everything, but as I'm driving the car, I do like how the stock shock feels, and I definitely like how the feeling has changed within the stock shocks itself. But moving forward from that, I still have an added option of adding springs, but the only reason why I don't want to do springs is, number one, I won't do them. Like, I like to do stuff hands-on myself. I can still have my friend at All Out Motorworks in Long Island. Remember, guys, you guys can still go there and get your lower down pipes installed for $150, relatively cheap. I just don't want to just go through the hassle of having them install the lowering springs and then put wear and tear on those shocks, when I could just pull them out, put the coilovers in, and adjust the height where I want it to be, adjust the firmness, and then I'm good to go, set and go. So I'll see what I'll do. But outside of that, guys, if you like my content, you like this video, like the channel, come on, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. I gotta get those subscribers up. But also on top of that, really to me, it's mainly the likes, man. A lot of you guys do watch my content, and a lot of you are new to the channel, are new to this type of platform. And if you like the video, just subscribe. About 70% of y'all are just viewers that were just browsing, and I would really appreciate if you guys actually sit there and hang out with me and continue to go on this journey with the Q60 now. So outside of that, guys, we have good morning, good afternoon, good night. There's a Teespring account below with the new merch, so definitely check out that stuff. And I'm just super appreciative, and you guys already know to contact me. Boostinmotion on IG, boostinmotion on Facebook, and boostinmotion@gmail.com. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. You have a good day. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.